Hello, everyone. This is Nathan Winters with the Wyoming Family Alliance, and I'm coming to you with a quick update from the Wyoming State Capitol. This legislative session began on February the 9th, and it has been moving so fast. It's, of course, a budget session, as you know, which means the legislature has only 20 legislative working days to try to get the people's business done. And that's just a limited time. Really, if there's extra days, they're available if necessary, but they're rarely used. And right now, we're closing in on the midpoint called the crossover. Now, crossover is the deadline when a bill must pass out of the chamber where it started. House bills must pass out of the House, Senate bills out of the Senate, or they will typically die until the next year if they are resurrected. According to the official session schedule, crossover is on Tuesday, February the 24th. So we're just in the last few days before this pivotal moment. With that in mind, if you go to wyofambilltracker.com, you'll see all that Wyoming Family Alliance is currently supporting. We're looking at 14 bills that are still in process. But today, I want to highlight 4 bills that our organization has been helping shepherd through the process. The first bill I want to bring to your attention is House Bill 3. This is legislation that has been designed to protect Wyoming pregnancy resource centers from the kind of government interference many pregnancy resource centers have faced around the nation. Then we go to House Bill number 10. And this bill has been long needed. We've tried to address it for years, but it addresses sexually explicit materials in our libraries and in our public schools. Now, this last year, the Joint Judiciary Committee worked on this bill thoroughly all throughout that interim session. And after much testimony and deliberation, they've crafted legislation that honors both the First Amendment and protects kids from sexualized content in those libraries. Then we go to House Bill 117. This is legislation sponsored by Representative Martha Lawley from Worland. It's possibly one of the most important bills of the session. It's a bill that addresses the subject of abortion by ensuring that mothers have all the information they need before they undergo a surgical abortion or take dangerous abortion drugs. And sadly, the abortion industry has tried to downplay how dangerous some of these procedures are for political, sometimes for financial reasons. And this bill steps in and protects the mom by ensuring she's at least given the basic details of these procedures before she undergoes them. Lastly, we'll also look at House Bill 126, another pro-life piece of legislation. This one is entitled the Human Heartbeat Act, and it's just like the name sounds. It's designed to specifically address the question the Wyoming Supreme Court raised when they somehow, sadly, declared that health care included abortion. And the point this bill raises is that at some point, it is important that we recognize that there are 2 patients instead of 1 in need of health care when you have a pregnant mother. And that it's the duty of every government to protect every one of its people, regardless of how small they are. And by the way, it is my sad duty to report that after that recent Supreme Court ruling, our state is now wide open for abortion, and in some cases is no better than some of the worst state offenders in our nation. And if you want to help at this critical moment, I would ask you to go to wyofambilltracker.com, wyofambilltracker.com, find these 4 bills, and you can click the link that allows you to contact your local legislator today. Crossover is coming fast, and what happens over the next few days will decide what moves forward. Now, before we close today, let me take a personal moment and ask you to pray for our legislature, specifically for our House of Representatives, which is right in front of me from where I'm standing in the Capitol building now. This year has been the roughest one I've seen in 14 years of ministering either in or alongside the legislature. And the pressure that they are working under, the sheer number of budget amendments, an unfortunate incident that caused so much damage to their ability to get things done down here, has created sort of an atmosphere that is in desperate need of prayer. And so what I'm asking of you is, would you stop right now and would you pray for your state representative, for your state senator? Ask for God to give them strength and wisdom to serve well. In fact, pray that God will give them the strength, like Isaiah described, to mount up on wings like an eagle, to run and not grow weary, to walk and not faint. Because at the end of the day, these are men and women, your neighbors, your family members in our state, who have been entrusted with the grave responsibility to serve God and neighbor in public office. And they need your prayer. Our state needs your prayer. And I want to thank you for standing with Wyoming Family Alliance as we defend life, advance liberty, and preserve freedom for Wyoming families. We'll see you next time. Thanks again.